Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFL landscape lately, you know that the offseason has been anything but quiet, especially for the Detroit Lions. And today, we have some breaking news that could significantly shape the Lions' future, especially their quarterback room, which has been a topic of discussion for quite some time. Recently, the New York Giants decided to make a bold move, trading Jameis Winston to Detroit. Yes, you heard right, Jameis Winston, a quarterback with a lot of talent and a knack for making explosive plays, is now a member of the Lions. And this move, believe me, could have far-reaching consequences for both teams and for the NFC North as a whole. So let's backtrack a little and analyze what this means for the Lions, especially considering their current quarterback situation. Jared Goff has been the unquestioned starter, and rightfully so. After his stellar 2023 season, which saw him lead the Lions into the playoffs and put up impressive numbers, fans are confident in his leadership. But as we all know, the NFL is a league where depth is everything, especially at the quarterback position. And that's where the Lions have faced some questions in recent months. Their backup options, Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen, haven't exactly inspired confidence. In preseason, we've seen glimpses of promise from Kyle Allen, like that game against the Atlanta Falcons, where he completed 7 of 8 passes for 2 touchdowns. That was a positive sign, but overall, his consistency is still a concern. Hendon Hooker, on the other hand, has struggled to find his rhythm, and with his development still in progress, Lions fans can't be faulted for feeling a bit uneasy about the backup quarterback situation. This is precisely where Jameis Winston comes into play. The Lions, with their Super Bowl aspirations, know they need a more reliable, energetic, and experienced backup, someone who can step in if Goff faces an injury, or even push him in practice to elevate the overall quality of the QB room. Winston, with his gunslinger mentality and competitive fire, fits that mold perfectly. He's a player who can ignite the sideline, rally the team, and bring that extra spark when it's most needed. And let's be honest, the Lions' head coach Dan Campbell is known for his fiery leadership style, so having someone like Winston, who's notorious for his intense speeches and passion, would be a perfect match. That chemistry, that locker room energy, can sometimes be just as vital as the X's and O's on the field. And it's not just about backup depth. Winston, coming off a season with the Cleveland Browns, showcased his ability to lead an offense, throwing for over 100 yards and 13 touchdowns. That's significant. For a team like Detroit, which is eyeing a deep playoff run and a shot at the Super Bowl, having a quarterback who can step in and produce if needed is critical. The Lions have a talented roster, a solid offensive line, and playmakers in the passing game, but the quarterback position always remains the most crucial piece. Winston's addition could give Detroit that extra layer of stability, a safety net that allows Goff to thrive without the constant pressure of uncertainty behind him. Now, I want to highlight a bit of context here, because this isn't just about any quarterback. Winston has had his ups and downs in the NFL, but he's proven he can be a spark plug for an offense. His time with the Browns last season showed flashes of his potential, especially when given the opportunity to lead the offense. And for Detroit, where the culture is all about grit, resilience, and fighting for every yard, Winston's fiery personality and competitive spirit would blend right in. It's not just about filling a roster spot, it's about adding a player who can elevate the entire team's mentality. Let's also consider the strategic aspect of this trade from the Giants' perspective. They're currently carrying 3 viable starters: Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, and Winston. But with the way training camp has unfolded, it appears that Winston might be the odd man out. The Giants are still trying to figure out how to fill other gaps on their roster, and trading Winston makes sense. It's a way to free up some cap space and add a valuable piece to a team that could use veteran leadership and game-changing ability. And right now, the team that makes the most sense for Winston's next chapter is the Detroit Lions. They're not desperate at quarterback, but they need to strengthen their depth chart, especially with the regular season looming. Think about the Lions' current preseason performances. Hendon Hooker, the young quarterback with a promising future, has shown some flashes but hasn't been able to establish consistency. Kyle Allen, despite his impressive game against Atlanta, still struggles with inconsistency overall. For Detroit, having a seasoned and fiery quarterback like Winston could be the perfect catalyst. Someone who can push Goff in practice, serve as a reliable backup, and if needed, step in and provide leadership on the field. It's about building that complete, resilient QB room that ensures the Lions are prepared for anything the season throws at them. And let's not forget, this isn't just about the immediate season. It's about the long-term stability of the franchise. Detroit has been building something special over the past few years, and with players like Goff leading the charge, they're serious contenders. But to make that final leap into true Super Bowl contention, every position has to be solid, every depth chart fully stocked. Winston's addition could be the missing piece that elevates their backup game, and who knows, maybe even brings a new level of competition to Goff's starting role. Looking ahead, the Lions' front office must see the potential here. They need to evaluate whether Winston's fiery attitude and experience can translate into a positive locker room influence. Because in football, leadership isn't just about throwing passes. It's about inspiring teammates, rallying when times get tough, and bringing that relentless energy every single day. Winston, with his history of fiery speeches and relentless competitive spirit, could be that guy for Detroit. Now, I want to pause here for a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So as we look at the bigger picture, what does this mean for the NFC North? Well, it could be a game changer. The Lions, with the addition of a player like Winston, are setting themselves up for a very different kind of season. They're not just relying on Goff to carry the load. They're building a more dynamic, competitive QB room that keeps everyone on their toes. And in a division where teams like the Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers, and Chicago Bears are also vying for supremacy, every little advantage matters. The Lions are clearly positioning themselves to be serious contenders, and this move adds another layer of competitiveness and depth that could be the difference between a playoff exit and a Super Bowl run. In the end, this trade isn't just about filling a roster spot or having a backup quarterback. It's about sending a message to the NFL, and especially to the NFC North, that the Detroit Lions are in it to win it. They're willing to make bold moves, invest in their roster, and bring in players who can make an immediate impact. And for the Lions faithful, this should be an exciting development, a sign that the team is serious about competing at the highest level. Now, to wrap this all up, I want to hear from you, Detroit fans. What do you think about bringing Jameis Winston into the fold? Do you see him as a potential starter if needed, or is he more of a veteran presence to push Goff and mentor the young guys? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing your opinions. Your voice matters so much to us and to the Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back very soon with more updates, analysis, and inside scoops on everything Detroit Lions. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep pushing this Lions train forward. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Lions!